Okay, let's do... Oh, I left my drink. The level of unprofessionalism here. Hello trick-or-treaters, welcome to another episode of Spookorama, where we talk about spooky things all year round. I am your host, Cromwell Witch, and today we have a fun video. I hope we always have fun videos. My whole goal here is that I have fun, you have fun, he, she, we have fun. It's first grade SpongeBob. Okay, on today's video, we are doing a Goosebumps tag. What? A Goosebumps tag. I was a fool. What's new? And I kind of assumed that this would have been something that somebody had already done, but from what I could see, they haven't. But yeah, I couldn't find one anywhere, so I just made up my own, because I wanted to talk about Goosebumps. I love Goosebumps. You guys know I love Goosebumps. Who doesn't like Goosebumps, though? Let's get real here. Is writing a tag yourself just like interviewing yourself? So, Cromwell Witch, do tell me, what's your favorite Goosebumps book? Well, thank you for asking, Cromwell Witch. You know, this is something that, I've always really liked Goosebumps, and in particular, you know, like, is that what I'm doing right now? I don't know. I had a need, it wasn't filled elsewhere, so I just came up with something on my own. So, oh dear. If you like the questions that I have concocted, which I'm going to be honest, I did a while back and now I don't remember what I wrote, so I'm really hoping that they're okay. If you'd like to do this, I would love to see it. If you want to do a Goosebumps tag, tell us all about your fancies and favorites and all kinds of wonderful Goosebumps knowledge. I'd love to see it, so you can send me a carrier pigeon through the Instagrams, and I will receive it. If you go to my account and say, "Hey, you fool, look what I've done," I'll go, neat. Or if you want to leave something in the typey box below, and I will also see it, and then I'll go, neat. But yeah, it'd be fun to see what you're up to. Tell me all about you. Don't you want to be my friend? First thing on the list, which is written on very fancy blue paper, I'll have you know. First thing on the list, what is the first Goosebumps book you read? Well, I can answer that question. The first Goosebumps book I read was, God, what was it called? Attack of the Snowman? It's the Snowman one. Whatever the proper title is, it is Attack of the Snowman, I do believe. It was the one where she moves with her grandma? I don't know. But there's all these snowmen in front of everybody's houses, and the snowmen protect them from the evil snowman monster up on the mountain, or are they the snowman's henchmen? It was third grade! I don't recall. Anyway, that's the first Goosebumps book I read, and I can still actually remember reading it. It was... I'm trying to make internet people think that I'm cooler than I am. Shush! It was, did you guys have deer time? Drop everything and read. It was during deer time, and it was really cool because they'd turn off all the lights. It was a dark day outside. Or maybe that's my creative edges going, the first time I read a Goosebumps book, it was dark and stormy night. So that might have been embellished by my memory a tiny bit, but this is all I've got, so we'll just go with it. It was a dark and stormy afternoon when I, in my third grade class, began to read R.L. Stine's Attack of the Snowman. And I remember thinking, oh my god, that was so good! So that was the first Goosebumps book I read. Question 2! I really can't hold things close because it gets blurry. It says it's going to focus by itself, but it never does. Question 2. When did you first learn of Goosebumps? This question I put in there because I had a story to tell. This is rigged, I say. Rigged. The first time I learned about Goosebumps, because I hadn't heard of it for most of my childhood. I say most. We're talking 3rd grade here. Okay. There had been... do you remember back in elementary school where if you invited kids to your birthday party, you had to invite everybody to your birthday party? Well, there was this one kid, and sidebar. You know when you're talking about kids from elementary school and you're like always call them by their whole name because that's just who they are to you, but now you're on the internet and you can't just call people by their whole name because what if he still exists out there somewhere and somehow found this and he'd be like, oh my god, I can't believe. So, there was this kid who had a birthday party, and I'm going to be honest, this was a very lame kid. People really made fun of him. But he was having a birthday party, and it was, I think it was Halloween. Yeah, it was Halloween. Or it was around Halloween, because that everybody came in costume, and it was a Goosebumps themed party. And my mom was there, because this is when your mom still goes to parties with you. Who am I kidding? If I were invited to a party now, my mom would still probably come with me, because she's cool. And I wouldn't know what to do at a party. she'd have to walk me through the social etiquette of party going. But I was like, what the heck is Goosebumps? Because, I mean, you were getting, like, Goosebumps bags and Goosebumps chapstick and Goosebumps bookmarks and Goosebumps party fairs, and I wish that I still had that. I wish it was still that time frame in which you could get that kind of stuff. But I was like, what the heck is Goosebumps? And my mom was like, well, it's this book series. It's kind of creepy. They do, like, scary stories and stuff. And I was like, oh, really? Perhaps we ought to stop at the library on the way home, mother dear. Because I was actually a British child. So that was my first exposure to Goosebumps as a concept, and shortly thereafter, that's when I picked up Attack of the Snowman. Snowman? There were lots of them. But that was actually a really fun birthday party. There were really fun games, and there were not too many people there because he was a weird child that people picked on, but there were enough people that it was really fun, and it wasn't like a big crowd or anything. It was such a fun birthday. I want to have a Goosebumps birthday party. Would you come to my Goosebumps birthday party? We'll make slime and tell ghost stories and watch Goosebumps. Oh, can we do like 90s arts and crafts? Oh my gosh. Yes. Which Goosebumps monster would you like to be BFFs with? Hold that thought. I need to ponder this. I don't want to be friends with Slappy because he's kind of annoying. Let's be honest. He's a cool villain, and who doesn't like a creepy doll? I mean, creepy dolls are just like the pinnacle of horror right there. It doesn't get scarier than that. But all that and I mean, he turned the lights on and off and like, oh, now I'm here, now I'm gone. It's like, oh, whatever, enough. So I don't think we'd get on very well as friends. My camera's gonna die any minute now. But I would say perhaps my friends, I could be BFFs with the jack-o'-lantern aliens from, is that one Attack of the Jack-o'-lantern? No. It is Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns! Ha! Okay, I've had to pull up the Goosebumps wiki because I have a terrible memory. But I'm thinking I would be friends with the jack-o'-lantern aliens from there because A, who wouldn't want to be friends with a giant pumpkin head? I mean, that's the ideal. And really, they can take you to that neighborhood where you constantly trick-or-treat. That's gonna come in handy. I mean, some days I'm just like, you know, I need to go trick-or-treating right now. And they'd be like, you know what, girl, we got you. Let's do this. So that would be handy. And then they would eat they eat adults. So I'm technically an adult by the laws of the land, by no one else's. But so they could kill me if I ever needed them to, or they could kill my enemies. And I just think we'd really get along well. 4. Which story or book scared you the most? Why did I write such hard questions? I'm going to say maybe The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. When I first read that, I It's really kind of creepy, you know, and scarecrows are intrinsically creepy anyway, which is why they feature in so many spooky things. But the fact that it's like, ooh, sometimes it was there, sometimes it wasn't, and sometimes it was very kind of like subtle, because it was like, well, maybe it is just the wind moving it, you know? And I love subtlety in horror, where it like plays tricks with your mind and everything, and I really like that. And like in my head, I still always remember the part where they went to open the corn, and it was like all rot, or the ear of corn or whatever, and it was all rotten, and all the bugs, and it was so gross, and I'm like, ooh, it was spooky. All right, what number are we on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5! Which episode do you like best? Okay, funnily enough, I really like The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. That's one of my favorite episodes of the television show. That was the one my friend and I used to always, like, that was our favorite one. Because back in the day, in my early youth, Cartoon Network used to show reruns of Goosebumps. I don't know, God, probably like middle school or something in there. I don't know. But you'd come home from school and you'd be like, yes, Goosebumps in October, only in October. That was part of the fun of the Halloween season. And Goosebumps would be on, and I would like call my friend on the landline, because nobody had cell phones. I would call my friend and be like, oh my gosh, Goosebumps is on, you gotta turn the channel. And she'd be like, oh my god, Goosebumps is on. And like we always bonded over The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. Like even now into adulthood, when she would come over for Halloween and stuff, it'd be like, you know what we gotta watch? We got to watch that scare. Number 6. Now I require 2 hands. TV show or books? Well, that is a dumb-ass question. Because I love them both. I watch the TV show more than I read the books because it's on Netflix and it's really easy, and if I'm just needing a little touch of... Oh, stop rustling the paper, you fool. If I'm just needing a little touch of, like, spooky childhood wonder, you know, that kind of vibe, which is kind of the vibe that I run on, then it's so easy. You just go, boom, 30 minutes and you know, Goosebumps Wonderland. I do actually still read some of the books, not very often, but I always love it when I do, because it just like immediately brings me back and it makes me happy. I love Goosebumps, guys. Number 7, do you have any Goosebumps memories from childhood? Well, damn it. That question was there so I could tell you about how I used to like rush home from school to watch Goosebumps in October with my friend. But I've already gone and told that story, so I guess we'll just keep on trucking. Was there a monster or a book that you absolutely hated? What was that one called? Give me a second, my dears. I didn't really like Calling All Creeps. Just kind of like, whatever. Ooh, that one was good. God, I forgot about that one. The Curse of Camp Cold Lake. Yeah, that was good. Yes, Stay Out of the Basement. Ha, I'm not lying to you. It's such a nice thing. I didn't like that one that much. Just and in my head I'm picturing the TV show, not necessarily the book. So maybe it's just that episode I really didn't like. I don't remember the book all that well. But that's the one where like the dad is doing weird plant mutations in the basement, and it's like The Fly but with plants. So he's like, I'm a plant. I don't know. Was not my favorite. Oh golly. Okay, and number 8, and the last one I have here. Which monster would you choose to fight? Here's the thing. I've always been very open about the fact that I would not survive a horror movie. I am exceptionally dumb, very gullible, not particularly observant, and I don't get hints of any kind. Like, I am incredibly dumb. I am unbelievably unobservant, and I would not survive a horror movie, so I would prefer to not fight any of these fellas. Back to my phone here. They had it coming. Well, see, the thing is, okay, I'm not going to answer that question as such, because here's the thing. For the most part, a lot of these kids in Goosebumps had it coming. Like, Welcome to Dead House. Maybe you shouldn't be messing around with ghosts. You know, some of these things, it's like the kids are making really stupid decisions, and it's like, well, if you read an ancient spell, then maybe something bad's going to happen. Okay, so that was a bit of a strange video, and I wish I had more Goosebumps filed away in here and I didn't have to consult my Wonka bar, but sometimes you just gotta turn to the interwebs to at least give you the titles. I'm really bad about some of the titles. I remember the stories and stuff, but I'm bad with titles. I have shamed you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed some of that, and hopefully I will edit it way down because it's been like 4 hours in this chair. But do leave me a comment down below, talking about Goosebumps or whatever, you know, tell me about your day. I don't care, it doesn't have to be about Goosebumps, that's just kind of the theme of this video, but you know, whatever. If you decide to do this tag, I will write the questions in the description box so that you can have access to them. And you can copy them, paste them, do whatever you want with them. Put them on your wall, paint a portrait of them, I don't know. Whatever floats your boat, man. If you want to see more Spookorama with me, then you can hit that subscribe button, and I think there's a little jingle bell that if you hit it, it'll be like, hello, Cromwell, which just uploaded a video. So that way you know to log off the computer and head the other direction, into the woods, away, as far away from technological advancements as you possibly can get, to avoid it at all costs. Thank you so much for spending time with me. If you've made it this far, you know, A+, top-notch job. I really appreciate that. I really do. If you spend any time watching me ramble on, I mean, that's pretty swell. I really appreciate that. Alright guys, till next time, happy trick-or-treating.